Evil Dead Rise. Obviously, by the title, you know this is going to be an Evil Dead Rise review. A few disclaimers, I guess. I've not seen any of the previous movies, never played any of the games. I think they said there's games with this, not with this particular movie, but that's beside the point. Two, congratulations to everybody who worked on this movie, because I saw that they had a budget, I think, of like 17 or 18 million, and they ended up making $174 million at the box office, which is huge. And I think they got greenlit for 2 more movies now. So congrats to everybody who worked on it. Now, this is a review, not a retelling, so no, I'm not going to remember everything. No, I'm not going to go over the whole story. This is literally a review, which is brief and gives like, you know what, I probably should rate. Okay, so out of 5 stars, I'm going to give it 3 stars. Hold your horses if you're upset. Just know, I'm not a big fan of super blood and gore. You're probably like, well, why did you watch the movie? I did not see a trailer because I like to be surprised completely. 2, I thought this was maybe about zombies. And 3, I watched it because on Twitter they was like, oh, what movie has like the coolest title screen come up? And they said Evil Dead Rise. So that's literally why I watched it. No other reason. I just was like, oh, okay, cool. I love good movies. So I'm like, okay, if they have a cool name come up, then all right. Now, I think they did so many things awesome, so many things great. For one, I love the makeup or whatever. I don't know if they did makeup or CGI for the mom. They did amazing. It was great. It was perfection. No complaints there. I would say I like when they came out of the elevator and like the bloody waters everywhere. You know what I mean? To me, that's just like a bit of a callback to The Shining. You know, and I love when movies do that. So that was nice. I think for me, it was an overall like good movie. But I feel like in 1 hour and 30 minutes, they were pretty limited on range of what they could do. I feel like for them, they did great. So maybe I should say 4 out of 5 stars then, because they did a really good job. For the amount of time, they had to quickly let us know, okay, this is what's happening. This is where we're at. We're at this hotel. You know, they gave us a little bit of backstory on the people. The mom's getting a divorce. The sister's pregnant. You know, so we did have that to kind of work with, and I think the main story was them trying to, I guess, get out. So maybe I will change it to like 4 out of 5 stars. I think I was not a fan because I don't like super scary movies, right? And I feel like this movie did have some parts where I was like either genuinely disturbed, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like, you know, like that feeling where you're like, I've watched scary movies before, movies with suspense and mystery, and they're able to like scare me or get me in that like feeling of like, okay, something's about to happen without necessarily a bunch of jump scares and blood and gore. Now, I feel like this movie probably was never for me. Fans who enjoy that stuff, this movie was probably for them. I think for me, I probably shouldn't have watched the movie because it was never going to be for me. I'm not a big fan of like blood splattering everywhere and getting on everything and, you know, all these random vicious ways to kill a person, I guess, or to hurt a person. I don't really enjoy that too much. I like movies where it's like just kind of like simple, you know. Another thing that, once again, I think was probably great for people, but I just didn't necessarily like, was the fact that you can't get rid of it at all. So Father Gabriel, whoever put the books down there and the records and stuff, why didn't you just burn it? Like, why did we keep the book? Why didn't we burn the book or bury it? Or, you know, even the records, why weren't they scratched? Like, if I would have known, like, okay, and that's another thing too. How was he able to record that message while they're about to kill him? Like, who took that CD and was like, let me dust it off? Or what did he have, like a big whatever those things are, recorder thing in the barn? That doesn't make any sense. Like, if you had a phone and was like, this is my last message, you know, I'm letting you know, like, that would make sense. But that's not what happened. You was using a big, I don't even know what them things is called, record player. So you telling me you have a record player in the cut somewhere for your last time alive? You're like, let me record this. I would think that the monster demon thing would destroy everything trying to fight and hurt me. So I don't know, that part, I was like, that didn't really make sense. Also, Danny going into the hole in the ground. You're from California. Like, come on. I'm in Illinois, the Midwest, and I know about sinkholes and stuff like that. I would never crawl into one, especially during an earthquake. And it's like, oh, she was doing that to help with money. That still doesn't really make sense, because you're literally like, at this point, it's kind of weird. It's like, I would think if you saw money or cash or coins, you would grab that. You're like, let me look at this big coffin that's in the floor, and let me grab this old book that would look like it was moving. Like, it didn't really make a lot of sense. Danny, you were to blame, because you kept doing shit, and you should have stopped, and you didn't. Things that I liked, I had never seen a cheese grater used before like that. I was like, oh my God, it gave me that reaction. So you got that. I feel like there were just certain moments that I just was like, just because of like the blood and gore aspect. Because like I said, I'm just not a big fan of that. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily a bad movie. It's more me for not being aware of what I was watching at all, and just going into it completely blind, because that's just how I live and operate, especially with certain movies. I like to be completely surprised. I also liked how at the end, that's actually how that story started in the beginning, because we didn't know where these people were from or what they were doing, but it made sense at the end. And when the mom bit that guy's eye out and spit it, and it got into the other guy's mouth, it made me think of Sharknado, and me and my sister did bust out laughing. That's why I said there were certain moments of this movie that were scary, and then certain moments that kind of made me and my sister laugh. But I think that's because we've watched a lot of movies together, so we can immediately think of the same callback. It really did make me think of Sharknado. Like, I was like, that was so, I don't know, we didn't have to do that. But for the most part, it was really a good movie. So I guess I will give it that. I just didn't like that. Like I said, it was just so much blood and gore. It was just too much for me. Just too much. Not for my taste. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And for the month of October, I'm trying to upload every single day. Something spooky, scary, mystery, Halloween related every single day. And if you have any ideas that you want to tell me about, comment down below.